What's going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video we are going to be diving into the Jelani Day timeline. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I recently went live to kind of go over the timeline of events and to kind of look into it a little bit deeper. It was really the first time I had gone into this story at all. After that stream, it was a pretty lengthy stream, I realized I need to make a separate video on the Jelani Day timeline, a more refined kind of video. Hopefully you, if you're watching this, if you haven't heard of this story, it maybe gets you fired up to look into it a bit more as well. The timeline starts in Bloomington, Illinois, or Normal, Illinois, specifically at the Bone Student Center. He was spotted in security camera footage at ISU's Bone Student Center. Jelani was spotted wearing a blue button-up collared dress shirt, black pants, black belt, black dress shoes, and a blue face covering. So I think like a blue, COVID mask. At 9:12 a.m., not even 2 hours later, Jelani was spotted in security camera footage at Beyond Hello, which is a Bloomington cannabis dispensary. And Day appears to be wearing a blue Detroit Lions baseball hat, black t-shirt with a unique black graphic, white/silver shorts, and black shoes with white soles. So no longer has the black pants on that he was wearing at the student center. It looks like he changed into shorts, but he was spotted here at this dispensary. I'm not sure when this opened. On the Google image, it looks relatively new, and actually on the satellite image, you can see there's nothing even on here right now. It's just an empty lot. So I assume this is a relatively new establishment. This is where he was spotted not even 2 hours later at 9:12 a.m. On Tuesday, August 24th. And his Chrysler 300, it should be noted, was seen in the parking lot. So here's a photo of that Chrysler. And then recently, actually, we have this footage of Jelani, or what people believe is Jelani, leaving this dispensary. So we now have, we before just had the photo of him in line, and now we have this video of him leaving. And it appears that he's completely alone. So that is Tuesday, August 4th. That's all we have from that day. Wednesday, August 25th, we have Jelani reported missing. Okay, so that's the day he's reported missing. And then August 26th, Peru police officers find Day's car concealed in a wooded area in Peru, about an hour north of Bloomington. We were just in Bloomington on the 24th. That was the last known sighting on that security camera footage, both at the school and at the dispensary. 2 days later, on the 26th, we have his car that was found right here on the corner of 12th and West Clocks Avenue near McKinley Park in Peru, Illinois, which they said was about an hour north of Bloomington. So this is the mapped route that he would have taken from the Beyond Hello cannabis dispensary in Bloomington. And his drive would have been 63.8 miles roughly to about the spot where they found his car. So I believe that his car was likely, and this may be public info, but his car was probably parked, honestly, in this little area right here. This is the corner of West Clocks and 12th. This would have been McKinley Park back in here. It doesn't look like there's really any other area to park your car. So I'd assume his car was probably found right around here. An extensive canine search was conducted by state police, drone aerial searches by Peru Fire, multiple units, multiple agencies in the area of Peru conducted ground searches, aerial searches, canine searches in this area. This is next to the Illinois Valley YMCA. There's a baseball field, lots of trees. Looks like a soccer field, a football field over here. So they apparently conducted a search in this area pretty extensively on the 26th when they found him. So now, going to Friday, August 27th, in announcing that the car was found, Peru police say Jelani has been missing for several days in, quote, unexplained suspicious circumstances. Okay, so then a few days later, Saturday, September 4th, an unidentified body is found in Peru along the south bank of the Illinois River, east of the Illinois 251 bridge. The south side of the bridge would be right here. Peru is up north of the bridge. They found him on the east bank of the river, which would be right down here. And if we actually look, the distance from the park where they found Jelani's car was 1.5 miles. By car, you would have to go across the bridge here, the 251 bridge. And one thing I noted in my live stream is you can see it's a pretty high off-ramp to the bridge. So even right here, you would have to drive your car all the way down here to get out and walk to the bank to find yourself on the bank. So I think, and it's morbid, but was dumped off the side of the bridge and then washed up right here. We have this shot of the bridge, and you can see this is the southern part of the bridge. The camera is up and it angles down to the bank where they show that that's around the spot that Jelani was found. That's the same shot right there, and his body would have been found right around there. So, of course, on Saturday, September 4th, they found an unidentified body at that point. So Monday, September 6th, state police collect DNA from Jelani's family in an attempt to see and try to match if it is indeed Jelani's body. Thursday, September 23rd, authorities announced that the body found in Peru was Jelani Day. They used forensic dental identification and DNA testing and comparison. Bloomington police hold the only law enforcement press conference ever conducted in the case. Also on the 23rd, Peru police posted a surveillance video on Facebook, apparently showing a black man approaching a residence and saying it was related to an ongoing investigation. But Facebook did not specify whether the video was related to Day's case, fueling speculation about its relevance. And this is that video here. I will play it. It's muted, but this was posted, and the Peru police released this surveillance video of a man they call a person of interest. So at this point, they had called him a person of interest in the death of ISU grad Jelani Day. Many people were kind of upset when this video was released because they said, well, what made him connected? How is he a person of interest in any way, shape, or form? And it was later announced that his involvement, the video that they showed, had nothing to do with the case. They went back on what they said and said that he was no longer a person of interest. The next date to look at is Wednesday, September 29th, and the town of Normal removes a painting of Jelani placed at a makeshift display site near the Uptown mural. The town says it's working with Illinois State University to explore options for sharing it on campus. So if we see here to the left, this is the Jelani Day Memorial that was painted behind this building here. And if you scroll up, you can see this is the sign that they posted, which you can pause it and read it. But basically, they said that they're going to be working with the school to try to find a more permanent location. It does kind of suck that they couldn't just leave it up for the time being, but that's just the way it played out. On that same day is when police say that the person in the Facebook video, the one I just showed you guys, is, quote, not a suspect or any longer a person of interest. I think they were able to narrow down that man was actually in that neighborhood for work-related things. So that's also on the 29th of September. Monday, October 4th, local demonstrators march on Normal City Hall to raise concerns about the removal of the Jelani tribute in Uptown Normal. So because of this removal of the memorial, you had some people that were pretty upset. They marched at City Hall, but that happened on October 4th. Thursday, October 7th, the ISU community joins with Jelani's family for a celebration of his life at Redbird Arena in Normal. Wednesday, October 13th, the LaSalle County Sheriff's Office issued a rare public statement about the status of the investigation. They say, quote, investigators are reviewing hundreds of hours of security video and had conducted another search of the Illinois River, which did not yield anything. So they looked for more information on the case. I would assume of the 100 or the hundreds of hours of searching security camera footage, many of those hours were probably spent looking at footage from the school. So this was his first location on the 24th, but that is what they did there. Friday, the 15th of October, the LaSalle County coroner releases a toxicology report of Jelani's body. It shows evidence of marijuana, caffeine, and nicotine use, 3 legal substances not toxicologically significant amounts, though. So they weren't significant amounts of any of those substances. Tuesday, October 19th, Jelani is buried in Danville. His burial is attended by the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the civil rights leader and former presidential candidate. Jackson calls Jelani's death a, quote, murder, and that it smells like another Emmett Till case all over again. Friday, October 22nd, the Pentagraph reports that the Peru police chiefs say that the FBI has been asked but has declined to take over the lead in the investigation of Jelani's death. On Monday, October 25th, the LaSalle County coroner says that the cause of Jelani's death was drowning, with no evidence of other trauma before his death. Authorities still don't know how he ended up in the water. Now, we're going to get back to that one in a second, because listen to what they say here. With no evidence of other trauma before his death. Now, just remember that I said that. We'll get back to that in a moment. Wednesday, October 27th, the LaSalle County coroner released a more detailed autopsy from a forensic pathologist that says there was no evidence of assault or an altercation on the body, and further demystifies several long-standing rumors in the case. There was rumors going around about Jelani's organs not being in his body when they did the autopsy, and that was cleared up. His organs were there. So luckily, this second autopsy was able to be done to clear some of those wild rumors. Once again, apparently, this second autopsy showed no evidence of assault or altercation on the body, which once again, we will get back to in a moment once we talk about something else. So that's October 27th. Monday, November 11th, the LaSalle County Sheriff's Department confirmed that Day's cell phone has been located. This is where the story becomes interesting. Sheriff Adam Diss said the phone is being sent to the FBI for further forensic analysis. The FBI ended up taking over the case, or at the very least being involved. Peru police chief says that they've handed over all Jelani Day evidence files to the FBI. November 11th, there was a gap between that. It makes you wonder, from the 27th of October to the 11th of November, what happened? If the FBI was involved, did they come in, and were they the ones to be able to, find the cell phone? In addition to his cell phone, his wallet was found, all in separate locations. So this article from Essence says, as it stands now, Day's car, wallet, clothing, and body have now been found in 5 separate locations. Day's family says he's never been to Peru, Illinois, doesn't have friends there, which just makes this case even more suspicious. If he had no reason to go to Peru an hour away, then it wouldn't make sense, for him to be there in the first place, let alone to go walk himself into the water to kill himself. It just doesn't make sense. He definitely wasn't going for a swim either. That's for sure. I'm not going to play this right now. This is what really frustrates me with the case. This video I will link down below. It's a 1-minute video. The Bloomington police talk about the impact of the Jelani Day case. And in this video, he talks about answers and how there's closure for the family after they found the body. By them finding the body, it provides no closure for the family. If anything, it just begs for more answers. Closure. There's no reason why they found him. It'd be like if someone you knew was found dead somewhere, and the police came out with a video that said, we're really, it's sad to say. He even says something like this. He says, it's sad to report that we found the body, but it's kind of a good thing in that we now have closure for the family. And it's like, if that was someone you knew, you'd be like, well, no, you found the body. All we have now are questions.
It seemed to me, from what I've read and what I've learned, and then speaking with his mother, that this boy was killed.
Day's mom tells the I-Team she wanted a third autopsy done to understand how her son died and to be sure that the body found in the river is in fact Jelani. So Father Flager hired local private investigator and forensics expert Sergio Saratella and his team to help this mom get answers. Saratella says while his team did not find any obvious signs of external trauma to the body, he says it's impossible to say there was no harm done at this point.
Okay, and I'll leave this link down below if you want to watch the last minute or so of this video, but this is the point I'm trying to make in all of this, and why I said that we're going to get back to some of these comments that I made about the initial autopsies that were done. because these autopsies stated that there was no evidence of assault or altercation on the body in both autopsy number 1 and autopsy number 2. However, when we have, and thankfully to this reverend in the town for putting up the money, apparently he donated $10,000 or so to resources and helping figure out the case. This private autopsy done here stated that there was no way to tell whether or not there was trauma or not. So it's like, how could they definitively just say that he drowned and say that there was no evidence of assault when this third autopsy reported that there would be no way to tell whether or not, there were no obvious marks saying, lacerations, those kinds of things. But other than that, there would be no way to tell if there were any other sort of, another sort of altercation that could have happened. The body was just in too bad of a case, too bad of a state. And so that right there is what makes me very suspicious of this entire case. None of it adds up. You've got, here's the entire day in one long Google map, right? You've got him reported at the student center. He goes to the Beyond Hello Cannabis shop. Apparently his phone was found off Veterans Parkway, right off this highway. So you're telling me he ditched his phone and then continued to drive an hour north to a place he'd never been. He had no friends, no reason to be there, ditched his car, ditched his wallet down the street. His wallet was reported to be found near his car. Apparently clothing as well along the road were found. And then you mean to tell me he walked himself the almost mile and a half down through the town of Peru, across this bridge, and then killed himself in the river? It does not add up. And like I said, if this were someone that I knew in my family, and this was their story, this is all we had, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. There's something more to this case. There are businesses that he would have crossed in front of on the way to where he eventually was found dead. So we've got to be able to figure out who had him. Look at all the cars. Why was his car found here? It just doesn't make sense. He was an outstanding student, an outstanding person apparently, and he had no issues. His mom said he had no issues with being in the streets, any of that lifestyle. If this was someone who had trouble in the past, the story, it still wouldn't really add up that much, but we would be able to say, maybe he got back into the specific lifestyle that he was in before, but none of that was the case prior. So none of it makes sense. I hope that we have more answers, especially now that the FBI is at least somewhat involved in this case. I hope for Jelani's mother and Jelani's family that there are answers soon. To me, this story, it smells fishy. It smells fishy all the way here from Florida. I can smell this story in Illinois, and it's so fishy. So yeah, let's hope for some answers soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.